Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Daily Rates Live with the Mortgage Calculator. Give us just a moment here to go live on all the different platforms. Appreciate you tuning in nice and early. Great topic here for today. We're going to go through our live interest rates, and then we're going to be talking about ITIN loans. Definitely something we get a lot of questions about, so good topic to go over here today. All right, it looks like we're live on all the platforms now, so we'll go ahead and get it started. Go ahead and keep dropping comments there in the chat as you tune in. You can also drop any questions you have in the chat as well. We'd be happy to answer any questions you have after we go through the deep dive topic here for today. All right. So welcome, everyone. My name is Kyle Hershey. I'm the COO of the Mortgage Calculator, joined here by our president, Nick Hershey, and our CSO, Jose Gonzalez. We are a lender that specializes in non-QM loans. And what we do every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern on this show is go through our live mortgage rates, and then we do a deep dive into a different loan type. Today's loan type is going to be ITIN loans for borrowers with ITIN numbers. So we'll get into that here shortly. But first, let's go ahead and check out the rates. So, Nick, if you're ready, let's go ahead and pull up today's rates and see what they're looking like today.
All right. So still at 1.5 year lows, which is great. Did tick up a little bit from last week, but we'll check out the rates for today. It is September 26th, just after 11 a.m. Eastern. So all of our standard programs have their initial rate sheets here. We'll compare the APR across the programs. If you'd like a full breakdown and itemized loan estimate, itemizes all the fees that go into the APR, please get with our team members. They'd be happy to send that over. For the demo, as we do every day, we'll set up a standard scenario. A single-family home, $500,000 purchase price, $400,000 loan amount, corresponds to 80% loan to value, 20% down payment. Use an estimated 760 credit score and an estimated 40% debt to income ratio. So let's check out the rates for today. So first up, our 30-year fixed conventional option for primary. That's the most common option people think of when they think of a mortgage. Rates today coming in 5.75. Final APR 6.067, just ticked up a touch above 6 there. We've been under 6 for a while, but we're still at 1 year lows. Now, if for any reason our customer doesn't qualify for a conventional option, typically want to present an FHA option. FHA allows more leniency on credit issues and a higher debt to income ratio overall, but does require upfront and yearly mortgage insurance. FHA coming in today, 4.99 rate. Final APR, 5.924. So if our customer qualifies for both, they may consider FHA if they're willing to do the mortgage insurance. But it's very comparable cost here. It's a touch cheaper overall, and a great option for our customers that need to use the FHA. Moving on to our VA for our eligible vets and active service members. These are great options. Rates today, 5.125. Final APR, the standard funding fee here, 5.402. So when we compare across the programs, the VA is definitely going to be the best option for our borrowers that are eligible because it's going to have the lowest APR there. And the final option for our standard options, USDA is only eligible for our properties that are in USDA eligible areas, the rural areas of the country. If the property is eligible, these are great options to consider. Rates today coming at 4.99. Final APR with the fees included, 5.716. So if our customers shopping in those areas, they're going to be comparing to an FHA. USDA is going to be a touch cheaper and a touch cheaper than conventional too. So great option for those areas. That rounds out our standard options that every bank or lender has. And if our customer doesn't qualify, unfortunately, our other banks may have to deny them. That's where we have 5,000 other programs. First up, coming in today with our non-QM alt-doc option with some good movement. So we love to see when non-QM moves down and the conventional is moved up a tick. So if our customer doesn't qualify with our conventional option, needs to switch to alt-docs, such as bank statements, 1099s, asset-related, P&L, some of the other topics we did this week. Rates today coming in, 5.875, absolutely amazing. Final APR, 6.193, almost identical to conventional. It's amazing when we can use our alt-doc options for nearly identical price. And moving on to investment properties, tons of options for investment properties. So for alt-doc is our first option. So bank statements again, 1099s, asset-related. Coming in today, 6.5 rate. Final APR, 6.823. And we'll compare that to the other investment property options. Conventional is coming in today, 6.25 rate. Final APR 6.581. So that's a touch cheaper than our alt doc, but not cheaper than our favorite options. DSCR coming in smoking again today, and the 5-year coming in even more smoking. DSCR stands for debt service coverage ratio. No income information needed, no employment information from the borrower. Simply use the estimated rents from the appraisal to determine a DSCR ratio. The estimated rents can cover the estimated expenses, aka the property will cash flow. That's a ratio of 1 or higher, which is preferred. And for our first option here with our 3-year prepayment penalty, squeaking out by conventional a tad there, 6.125 rate. Final APR 6.425, which is amazing. And we can sweeten the deal with a 5-year prepay coming in today, 5.75. Final APR 6.065, absolutely amazing. And blowing conventional out of the water there for our DSCR with a 5-year prepay. And not much change in the no prepayment penalty option, but we do have that. Rates today, 6.5, final APR, 6.823. So that's going to be a touch more expensive than the conventional, which is typical. I would still say 100% of investors would prefer a DSCR when the costs are very comparable here. And if you can add a prepayment penalty, definitely sweetens the deal. And the final 2 options we have are second mortgages. Typically, our customers that have a low rate first mortgage, lower than the rates we're seeing today, I want to keep that first mortgage, but still want to get cash out. Typically, a HELOC's the most common option, but now we have our 30-year fixed second mortgages for our primary borrowers to get cash out, 8.125, final APR, 8.542. Definitely a great option, lower rates than a HELOC, and obviously not adjustable like a HELOC. And same for our investors, can get cash out without touching that first mortgage. Rates as low as 9.25, final APR, 9.557. So great options for our investors there, as HELOCs are very rare for them as well. Let me go ahead and switch screens again and get into our topic for today. So ITIN is a citizenship type. So when we do our live rates, we don't go through the different citizenship types. We love to have options for all different statuses. So Jose, let's first talk about status, because that's usually the most confusing part of this. And then let's talk about the options that we have for the true ITINs, which may be different than what people think they are.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for Daily Mortgage Rates Live with the Mortgage Calculator. So if we go to, I guess I would call it our status totem pole, right? At the top of the totem pole, you have the full U.S. citizen, either naturalized citizen or born here. You're still a citizen. Below that, you have the permanent resident aliens, right? They have their green card, allowed to permanently reside in the U.S., do not have their citizenship yet, but able to qualify for all the same programs that U.S. citizens can qualify for. And then you have your non-permanent resident aliens, right? Non-permanent resident aliens are individuals living in the U.S. Typically, here's where we have a distinction, right? Because the non-permanent resident alien, you're basically going to be able to put them in 2 different categories when you're trying to structure your loans. One is an actual non-permanent resident alien that is residing legally in the United States, has their status to be here through some type of visa or some type of asylum from immigration, but they are legally residing in the U.S., and they have an employment authorization document, be it a work permit. Maybe they have an E-2 visa that allows them to own a business and manage their business here, which would be working. And then we have our ITIN borrowers, right? Now, ITIN stands for Individual Taxpayer Identification Number. Our ITIN borrower is residing full-time in the United States, working, or should I say deriving their income solely from the United States, but they do not have legal status like a typical non-permanent resident alien does. However, when you are structuring your loan and looking for options in the pricing engines, you would put your borrower in the non-permanent resident alien category to be able to get your pricing options. but do be aware that they are an ITIN borrower. It simply means they have the ITIN document in order to be able to file tax returns. So there are multiple income streams for the ITIN borrower, from full doc, 1099, bank statement, P&L, and even DSCR. But just be aware, W-2 full doc is probably not the option that would be applicable for your borrower, because to be a W-2 borrower, they have to have a social security number for the W-2 document to be able to be generated, because that is taxes that are being deducted for stuff like social security, federal income tax, and Medicare. Since they don't have their full status here as either as a non-permanent resident alien nor as a permanent resident, they do not have a social security number. They are going to have an ITIN. So let's get into our options here now that we understand what we're dealing with. Our first option here is for a full doc ITIN primary purchase. 80% LTV is the highest LTV, so that's 20% down. And we're looking at 8.374 at par. And you can buy that down all the way to 7.124, which is a cost of 2.5 points. Our next option is our investment purchase. Now, the other one was a primary. This one is investment, also 80% LTV, which is great news. This one is full doc. And you're looking at 8.49, our lowest cost option at par. And you can buy that down all the way to 6.49 at a cost of 3.5 points. Now, here's where it gets interesting for the ITIN borrowers. Now, we have an ITIN bank statement investment purchase. And again, great news, 80% LTV, maximum LTV for this option. 8.75 is our lowest cost option at a cost of 0.25 points. And you can buy that down all the way to 6.75% at a cost of 3.375 points. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. We actually have an ITIN DSCR purchase option at 80% LTV. Yes, folks, that is not a typo. I triple confirmed that. 80% LTV for our ITIN borrower. 8.624 is our lowest cost option at par. And you can buy that down all the way down to 7.374. Absolutely amazing. And now for some cash out options. Hold up a second here. All right, we're frozen there for a second. So some cash out options here. 75% LTV is our maximum LTV for this option. 8.75 is our lowest cost option. And we can buy this down all the way to 6.625. Absolutely amazing. And saving the best for last, our ITIN DSCR investment cash out at 70% LTV, which is the maximum LTV for our ITIN borrower using DSCR. You're looking at 7.875, our lowest cost option at par. And you can buy that down all the way to an astounding 6.25% at a cost of 3.225 points. So we're definitely seeing the ITIN secondary market open up here, especially for DSCR. Amazing, high LTV, 80% was not available previously for our ITIN borrower. So definitely look to the mortgage calculator for all your ITIN borrower loans.
All right. I do not see any questions. Definitely great programs there. So no questions still. I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Remember that we do this show at 11 a.m. Eastern every weekday, where we go through our live rates and then do a deep dive into a different loan type. So we'll have a new loan type for you tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern for the next episode.